So Rick compiled this list of great announcer calls, but not the kind of announcer calls that you'd hear in a NFL game or an NBA game or a baseball game. But fun stuff, not even like a soccer or hockey game, but like obscure high school sports and minor league sports. And it's good stuff, right? So Rick, what should we start with?
We could start with the guy banging on the glass, who goes nuts in the high school game.
Isn't that in the guy banging on the glass?
I'm sorry, that's a college game. Division
I college. A guy, Florida Atlantic against Arkansas State, and apparently the Florida Atlantic quarterback scrambled, like he was rushed, and he ran, and he got hit on the head as he'd already hit the ground, like a head-to-head hit, and they didn't throw a flag. The referees didn't throw a flag, and this Dave Lamont guy goes nuts. It's good stuff.
I cannot believe that. You can't. I mean, it took him a while to get into the flag. He is defenseless. Don't you understand? Throw a flag. Third down.
Wow.
I thought we didn't do more of that. I thought we had a longer.
Oh, there's one more.
Oh, we have one more. So there so he's pounding. He's pounding on the press glass because he's trying to get the referee's attention.
That's incredible.
Right.
Sports get very emotional.
They do. So I also like that they're like, he's defenseless. Third down. All right, so it continues.
Van Camp took a helmet-to-helmet shot regardless, even if he wasn't in his slot. You know what? I don't really care if you people look at me in the press box. You know what? I don't care. That's a flag. And I'll fight any one of you if you want it. That's the mood I'm in at the moment. Apparently the team is not the only one melting down here. 5:58 to go.
I love when people get defiant like that.
Totally.
Yeah. Like, I'll fight you. I'll fight you. All right.
It's like, he's not going to fight the people who did it. He's fighting the people who are looking at it.
Right. I love that.
Yeah, anyway, so that's Dave Lamont. That was good. What's next, Rick?
Nuts and bolts, we got screwed.
This is a high school game, and the referees make another bad call of what clearly is a fumble, and they don't call it a fumble, taking a touchdown away from the team that the announcers are supporting. The announcers are calling the game for.
I formation. Looks like Driscoll, the deep man in the eye. Austin throws it out. Oh, it's a backwards pass. That's a live ball. It's a live ball. Pick it up, Cody. There he goes. There he goes. Touchdown. Oh, wait a minute. He's saying it's an incomplete pass. There's no way that's incomplete.
Absolutely not.
That's a backwards pass by 5 yards.
Absolutely not.
There's no way that's an incomplete pass.
All right, so he's obviously upset. And then they continue to be upset. They don't bang on the glass, but they use a great phrase coming up here at the end. We have a second segment, right? All right, so they use a great phrase here.
Football! Horrible! Boo! 5-yard backwards pass, live ball, touchdown off the board for the Green Wave. Nuts and bolts, we got screwed. Third down.
I love that.
Nuts and bolts, we got screwed. Third down. They always have to reset and move on.
Of course.
But I like the idea that maybe we should work that into the board, I think. I think Jank would.
I already have.
I think nuts and bolts, we got screwed. Third down. I think that would apply frequently to Democrats.
Absolutely.
Nuts and bolts, progressives. Nuts and bolts, we got screwed again. Third down.
Third down.
I already like that. All right, what do we have, Rick? What's next?
Next is the ring announcer that cannot remember a guy's name.
Doesn't matter. This is a guy before one of the nonsense Ultimate Fighting. You know, when I've done a lot of things about how Ultimate Fighting is ridiculous, barbaric, mixed martial arts, and then people get really mad that I don't know what I'm talking about. They're like, it's more violent than football. It's less violent than football. It's less violent than war. It's less violent than nuclear war, Ben. You're a moron. Nuclear war is safer than mixed martial arts, you idiot. So anyway, this guy's making the announcement like the way they do, and in this corner, you know, weighing 2. So he does this, and anyway, it's awesome. It's good stuff.
Please welcome the officials for this bout will be Evan Bezada, Brett Hind, Charlie Keach, representing the Combat Sports Authority, Mr. Woo! Blank. Now that's a start. Well, that's what happens. Mr. Craig Waller, of course.
Just forgot. It's a nice moment. All right, I like that one. Just for the sheer, just because you feel for him. And like he's thinking, it'll come to me.
Yeah,
It'll
yeah,
come.
yeah.
And then it just doesn't. What do we have? What's next?
Next is your personal favorite, the soccer announcer.
Oh, this is great. So this is a guy who's do we remember this guy's name?
Wasn't it Jeff Stilling?
Yeah, that's right. What is it?
The host name is Jeff Stilling.
Yeah, so this is a soccer guy. He hosts something called Soccer Saturday in England. He's fantastic. He's like as good a broadcaster as he's funny and he's into it. And I support soccer in other countries, just not here. Like they care a lot about soccer in Europe. And this guy's great. He's really good. And then he tosses it to their reporter who's a former player, a very famous former player. Did we write his name down? We did, but we don't have it. And anyway, it doesn't matter. This guy's a former player. He plays a coach. He's like a player coach. He played until he was 39. And you can't understand a word he says.
Has Everton gone close recently, Dean Windass?
No, they haven't, John. They nearly went behind Jeff, John, Steve, whatever your name is. They nearly went behind Jeff. They'll pick you on. He's outraced Jagielka, and you think he'd go on. He goes round Howard. You think he'd go on, just tap him with left foot, and he drags it back. He sends Jagielka for a pie. Howard stands up and he tries to place it. Hits Howard in the chest. Comes back out. Still 0-0. Jack.
He's at the cutting edge of broadcasting, isn't he? Go.
The best part about that was the anchor's response to it.
Totally,
the way he played it off was great. You know how anchors in the United States, or sports announcers in the United States, would handle that?
No, totally.
They would freak out.
They would totally freak out.
The camera would go back to them, and they would just be frozen.
But his guy's name is Jeff Stelling. He's fantastic. We watched this whole montage of him, Rick and I did. He's sensational. But at the beginning, and maybe you couldn't hear it because it's really, we had to watch it a couple times. Get ready to play it. We'll just play it one more time. He gets the guy's name wrong 4 straight times. Something like 4 straight times. And then at the end, when he tosses it back to him, it's still wrong.
Oh, God.
One more time.
Has Everton gone close recently, Dean Windass?
No, they haven't, John. They nearly went behind Jeff, John, Steve, whatever your name is. They nearly went behind Jeff. They'll pick you on. He's outraced Jagielka, and you think he'd go on. He goes round Howard. You think he'd go on, just tap him with left foot, and he drags it back. He sends Jagielka for a pie. Howard stands up and he tries to place it. Hits Howard in the chest. Comes back out. Still 0-0. Jack.
He's at the cutting edge of broadcasting, isn't he? Go.
Jack. He ended with Jack.
Yeah.
He gave 4 different names.
Yeah. Jack, John, Jeff, Steve, whatever your name is. Jack, back to you. It's Jeff. All right, I love that one. Is that it? Is that all 4?
No, we still have the horse racing guy.
Right, horse racing guy. This one's good because you just feel bad for the guy. He's like got a cold. It's first of all, it's harness racing, and harness racing is. Have you ever seen harness racing? Do you know what harness racing is?
Does it involve horses?
Yeah, it's horses, and they're pulling jockey. The jockey is on a harness.
Right.
Like like a.
Oh, I've seen it. Okay.
It's totally rigged. Jack and I have talked about harness racing before. I don't care. I don't need anybody's story. I get people who call, you don't understand, harness racing's it's rigged. Like you'll see guys get a big league in harness racing, and they're like, oh no, whoa, he's up there, girl. And then it's so fake, but it doesn't matter because when you're there gambling on it, maybe you picked the one who's supposed to win, right? You don't know. So anyway, this is harness racing, and is this guy local? Is he American? I can't remember.
I assume he's not an American.
Right, I think it's from Europe. But anyway, it's great because he's got no voice, and he tries to hang in there, and he can't.
The entitled inbuilt 80 at the tail of the field. We're looking about 5 or 6 metres to Booberowie boy. I think we're going here. In front, leading the way. It's Elia Rose. Leads by 2 metres. In second placing. No, I don't think I'll get through this. Elia Yatesy, where are you? We need you, mate. In front, Elia Rose. Down the outside. Trying hard, was 1 step closer. But Elia Rose wins.
Oh my God. It reminds me of a reporter in Australia who got the hiccups in the middle of her broadcast, and instead of stopping, she did the entire segment. But you got to call it quits sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you got to call it off.
Yeah, like in that point, call it quits.
Yeah, just be like, enjoy the rest of the race. Enjoy it in silence. The race is rigged. Enjoy it in silence. All right, Rick, that was well done. Nice stuff.